There's always a bit of tidying up before you can get on with any job. I thought those pipes disappearing were quite funny. I wish I could really work this fast. So the job today, once we've cleared the mess out of the way, is to cut this retaining wall. This is a different construction. Rob's here to help cut it back to that line that we've made just to the left of the spade between the two drainage holes at the bottom. You can see a line going vertically. So first we're getting rid of stuff that might fall on us and is a bit in the way. And organic material as usual. These slabs are different. But this wall, we've got to be gentle with it because we don't want to take the whole thing down. If we just pulled on it, we would undoubtedly very easily pull the whole thing out. But then it would have to be rebuilt in the section to the right of where the spade is. Those are strange paving slabs. They've got steel reinforcing in them. Having a go with the angle grinder. Maybe if we had an enormous angle grinder it would have helped us. But we didn't. So we were using hammers and bolsters and just trying to wedge them in, break this blockwork apart. It was impressively strong. So rather than pushing, then we're only affecting the end bit because the wall is bedded against the bank and doesn't really move in. Rob did a very good job with the bolster and hammer, cutting through those blocks. Some of them are a lot harder than others. This bottom course seems to be very firmly stuck together. Just won't come apart. But we saw a crack and took the opportunity to pull that bit off. Bit of plastic pipe from the drain. And another chunk comes off. Not clean though, so you've still got to cut through that block. That little triangle. There, Rob's cutting through that triangle. Now I'm taking some of the backfill out from behind the wall so that the end bit can bend in. There, you can see it bend. And Rob spotted where it's cracked. It's cracked along there and it's cracked up the wall that we wanted to keep. That's what we were afraid of. But it's not dislodged it in any degree. It's just cracked. But so we're going to have to cut this joint out just above the bit we want to take out so that we don't disrupt the bit we don't want to take out any further. That's what Rob's doing there. So a combination of the bolster and an old saw. There, Rob's got it in his hand. The old saw was better than we might have guessed for getting the mortar out. So just gently wibbling it about, enough to loosen it, but not enough for it to damage the wall that's being retained. Yeah, you can see it moving. Rob's trying to wedge something in to keep it moving in the same way, in the same direction. I'm thinking we'll drag it out to the left. We can't just pull it out because it would lever up the remaining wall. And there, that seems to be working. Quick site meeting to discuss our options. It's a heavy bit, that. Nearly out. There it is. It's out now. Heavy. You can see the digger going over on its side a bit. Lifting that out of the way. Never lift anything that's that heavy very high, and then you'll be alright. The trusty sledgehammer. Always a good friend for breaking things up. So that's the wall out of the way. The block built wall at any rate. There's a bit of concrete as well. So that line is where I was hoping we might be able to cut it off. Decided to leave that last bit rather than risk leaving that more than we want to. Now we need to get these stones that are just holding the soil steady, stopping erosion. I think is their main job. Gently teasing them out. And look what we found, a Fanta can. I think it said 47p multi-pack, not to be sold separately on it. So the handy blunt saw came in again, sawing off roots and soil. I've seen people using it with turfs as well to cut them to size. Trimming the organic material out. There's a rooty bit. That bucket's a bit wide, isn't it, for filling up that little wheelbarrow? Time for bed. At least coffee.